Disney on Ice is one of the recommendations for winter fun, that is, from our Let's Go Mommy blogger, Lindy Bethke. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, but first we're going to start with, it's so hard to think about this at this time because it's the dead of winter and so cold. But your popular preschool guide is out because January is the time you need to think about it.
It is, believe it or not, the 2019-2020 school year, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, the preschool guide, it's time to start thinking about it. And if you are a first-time parent to a potential preschooler, like I was many years ago, you may not have a clue that that's even an option for you. And I think it's such a great thing to know about. So I've got a guide. It outlines a lot of the information that the parents would need to know, like days and times and the locations of preschools. And it's something you want to think about because enrollment starts in January, February. They have open houses going on now and then also through the spring. So yeah, it's definitely something to consider. And a lot of preschools, you think about it for 3- and 4-year-olds, and that is the majority. But there are even some in the Green Bay area for 18 months and 2-year-olds.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so.
Well, what's the difference then between preschool and like daycare?
Well, I guess the difference is generally the preschools aren't 5 days a week.
Oh,
and
sure.
Generally they're not all day, but those options are available.
Okay.
So you could look at it as a possible like childcare solution.
Sure.
Or it can just be like a great, break for you and for the kids and a way for them to learn and have some structure, routine, and some socialization with others. Yeah.
Well, I got 8 kids, and I know about preschool, and I tell you what, and it changes all the time, but I love this on your website, 13 tips to find the right preschool. What are those?
Yeah, well, it's kind of just, it's not necessarily the right one for you, but it's like things to consider, So when does enrollment begin? When do you need to start thinking about it? There are, a lot of people don't know that there are different days and times, and they're all, can really work with your schedule. So just consider that as your family, what works for you, what works for your child. Go to the open house or schedule a tour, which all the preschools are open to doing that. Sure. Go in and see it. Yeah, and also a big thing is they say you need to be potty trained. Now, if you have one like I had that it was an issue, some potty training was an issue, definitely talk to the school about it. And it depends on your kid because, for instance, mine, she didn't have an issue with it when she was at school, so that wasn't a problem, So she was smart enough not to have any accidents at
away from mommy. That's how it always goes, isn't it?
Yeah, so don't let that deter you either.
Okay.
So just different things like that to consider.
Always on your website, you have some really fun things for people to do, even in the middle of winter. Let's start with the Einstein Expo that's coming up.
That starts on Saturday at Shopko Hall from 9 to 4. And then there's Monster Truck Show is going to be here Friday and Saturday. The Frosty Family Fun Night at the Wildlife Sanctuary. That's a tongue twister.
I know, but it should be less frosty by the time that rolls around.
Yeah, it should be pretty nice for that. Yeah, and it's like $5 per carload, and they have all these fun little activities going on. So yeah, that would be something fun to check out. And then we talked about Disney on Ice is coming next week. Yeah, so there's options. And with it getting a little warmer and snowy or whatever this weekend, there's also like sledding, and I got a guide for that on my website too.
Oh, I love
for
it.
sledding and ski hills and things like that. Yeah, so
you don't have to go far, let's just say that. All right, check out Lindy's blog for all of these articles. It's letsgomommy.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lindy.
All right, here's Jordan.